Okay, and we are back. Good morning. Welcome back to another Where's My Tea mini talk session. Let's just get right into it. Okay, so this one says, "Hey Nene, I don't know if this is new to you, but I'm a male and I recently started watching your talk sessions. I hope it's not weird. I just think you relate some good facts. Alright, I'm 32 and my wife is 30. We've been married for 7 years and we have a 5-year-old daughter together. I love my family very much and I provide for them like a man should. I've never cheated on my wife, mistreated her, or disrespected her in any way. I've always been the man that I've been raised to be. My wife, on the other hand, has changed. I'm not really sure what's up with her, but I've been getting a strange vibe the past 5 months or so. Here's the biggest issue I'm dealing with. Over the past couple of months, we've been practicing to have a baby. For some reason, she just couldn't conceive. We went to the doctors to see what was up, and I found out that she had her tubes tied. Not only did she have her tubes tied, but she's had them tied for a whole year now. She knew I wanted more kids, and instead, she made this decision without me. I'm not really sure how to address this or even how to feel. As of now, I'm angry. At the doctor's that day, I didn't say much when I found out. I just looked at her and she knew that I felt some type of way. Since then, I come from work, I play with my daughter, I give my wife money if she needs it, but I kind of keep my distance. This has really hit home for me. I need an outlet, and I love to hear your input and what others have to say. Is leaving an option because she lied about this? I love my family and I don't want to divorce my wife, but she knows how important kids and a family is to me. Nene, what is your take? Lord have mercy. Jeez. We drinking Kool-Aid today. Where's my tea? Okay, so I hate when you guys, I don't hate it, but when you guys give me numbers, I kind of got to do the math in my head. So he says he's 32 and she's 30. They got married 7 years ago. So he was 25 and she was 22. And then they had a 5-year-old daughter now. So 2 years after getting married. So he was 29? And they've been practicing for a second baby for the past couple of months, and he recently just found out that she has her tubes tied, and her tubes has been tied for a year now. Alright, so I'm going to take 2 stances on this, and I have 2 opinions on this. I'm going to start with my first stance. Tying your tubes and not letting your husband know is the ultimate no. Now, I understand a woman's body is a woman's body and we go through so much and stuff like that. I totally understand. But when you make that big of a decision like that by yourself, that's wrong. Now, I'm only left to assume sometimes when a woman ties her tubes, it's for a couple reasons, but the ones I'm just going to narrow it down is 1, maybe because of health concerns, or 2, this woman didn't even want kids to start off with. Maybe, once you had your daughter, it was like, okay, look, that's it. Let me just go ahead and pop this out and call it a day. Maybe she didn't like the experience, or she just was never a person to want to have kids. But again, this does not make it right. Now, you're asking me, how should you feel? I think any normal husband or wife or any person that can understand the situation would feel angry, every bit of angry. You have every part to feel angry. I feel mad for you. I'm kind of lost for words because it's a shocker that a woman would do this to her wife knowing that you wanted more kids or a bigger family. And then I'm left to assume that prior to even getting married, you guys did not discuss your hopes for family, but maybe you did because you are really stressing to me that you're a family guy. But if you stress to me the way you did to her, I don't see how she could have made this decision. Normally during dating and getting to know this person, especially if the relationship grows more serious, you talk about things like this. How many kids you want? Do you want a family, big family, small family? And I'm only assuming that you guys didn't have this conversation, because if you did, why would she make a decision like that? Now you're asking me, how do you approach this situation? Or how do you get over this? In all honesty, there's no getting over this. There's no way that you're going to allow yourself to get over this, because you wanted a family and you wanted one with your wife. Can you possibly forgive her for this? Yes. But is it going to happen overnight? No. But you can definitely forgive her for this, but it's always going to be something that's here. It's always going to be there because that's something that it seems that you hold passionate to yourself. But to approach this situation, I think your wife knows that you're mad. I really do. And for her to not tell you herself and let the doctors tell you, something's not right with that. I think she knew that you were going to be upset and she couldn't tell you herself. But this leads on to why I feel the second way I feel. You did say she's been acting strange for the past 5 months or so, and her tubes have been tied for a whole year now. If the case was that you didn't want kids, and if the case was, I'm over this, I don't want kids, you'd have got your tubes tied 5 years ago when your daughter was done. If you was going to do it, in a sneaky way, you'd have got that done 5 years ago. You didn't do that. You waited up until last year to make this decision to get your tubes tied, and now you acting a little funny. See, it's a red flag. It's just a red flag to me. And I'm not suggesting anything, but we're going to open our eyes here. We're all going to open our eyes to the big situation. What's the timing on this? Why now? Why did just last year you decide to get your tubes tied? And you guys weren't practicing last year. You said that you guys started practicing a couple months ago to have a baby. And she knew that she wasn't going to be able to conceive. So this leads me to my second thought, like something's not right. And for some reason, I feel like you have a clue and maybe you want someone else to say it because you gave me these dates and these times and you knew I was going to put the math together, and I'm sure you put the math together yourself and you see something's not adding up. How do you approach this? You need to approach her. 1, what caused you to make this decision? And 2, what caused you to make it without me? Why? You really got to get this off your chest. You got to get to the bottom of it. And ultimately, am I telling you to divorce your wife? See, I'm not when it comes to, if this was just a relationship, boyfriend, girlfriend thing, I'd be quick to say, yeah, girl, go. But see, when it comes to a marriage, I kind of hold that where it needs to be held. And I'm not telling you to divorce your wife on this situation. I feel like ultimately, you two can get through this. I feel like this will be a big testament on how strong you guys are together. But it takes the both of you to get through this. It doesn't take, one person still holding on and throwing stuff in someone's face. It can't be that way. When you get through this and when you accept someone and, you forgive them for something, you have to forgive them. And that's one thing that you have to pray for if you believe in a God is, God, please, give me forgiveness. I'm going to be able to forgive her and understand. And when you guys have this talk, I want you to have some part of understanding. I want you to kind of understand and see where she's coming from, depending on her excuse. But no, this is not cause for a divorce. Like I said, you guys can definitely get through this as a couple. It's just not going to happen overnight. You're not going to forgive her overnight. But go through the process of forgiving. And my advice to you is when you do forgive her, this is not something you still hold on to in the back of your mind and something that you throw to her, because that's not forgiving someone. Now, will you be able to get over it? No, you will not, because again, you're going to have that yearning and you're going to want a family, but it's not the end of the world. I don't like to think too negatively on situations, but I want to look at the positive outside on this. You have a daughter here. You know what I mean? You were blessed with your daughter and she's 5. And I think, I don't want to get too biblical in this, but God sets things up the way they're supposed to be. So ultimately, maybe your daughter was this blessing because this was going to happen. This situation could have been way worse. You could have got no kids out of this and you're with a wife. And then ultimately, this would have made you unhappy because you're a family guy and you can't get that with your wife. So maybe it went to more drastic decisions being made. But as of now, be thankful because you have a daughter. It could have been way worse. So like I said, I have 2 stances on this. I feel like there's a reason why she did this, whether it was she just didn't want kids and baby, I couldn't go through that again, or I never wanted kids, or a health issue, or 2, honey acting a little funny. These dates and these times that you're giving me is just not making sense to me. And for someone to make that decision 4 years later instead of doing it then and there after you conceived and delivered your child, doing it now, and then you say she's acting funny. She's been acting a little off, a little weird for the past 5 or so months. See what I'm saying there? Something's not adding up. So you as a man, and you seem like you're a strong man, and you say you're a great man to her. Pull your pants up. Get down to the bottom of this. Figure out what it is. Figure out what's going on. And talk with her and sit with her and say, look, you messed me up. This is what I wanted and you took this away from me. And again, don't throw this in her face, but I think she knows that she messed this up. And that was the ultimate reason why she didn't tell you. She let the doctor tell you, because she didn't know how to. She knew that you were going to be angry at this. So I answered your question. No, you won't be able to get over it. But to fix this, talk to her. Ask for forgiveness. Find it in your heart a way that you are going to be able to forgive her. Figure out what's going on. Be thankful that you do have a daughter here. Divorce your wife? Not at all. You two can definitely get through this. Now it's time to get answers. Now it's time to see, why did she hold this from you for so long? Alright guys, so that was my advice to him. Now I want to hear from everybody. I want to know, what do you think he should do in this situation? How should he feel? Do you think that he should accept this and keep it moving? Is divorce an option? Let me know your input. I'm really interested in hearing what everybody else has to say. No one opinion is right or wrong. This is all your opinion. So let me know how you would respond to this. How would you feel? What are your steps? What should you do? Also guys, don't forget, if you need advice, you can find my email at the top and the bottom of the description box. It's going to be there. You can send me over whatever your issue is, and I'll give you advice and I'll respond to it via email, and then I'll pick which one that I want to feature in the video. Since I get so many emails, I can't feature them all. And that's it. So I'm out.